everyone, welcome to a new tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to make a giant chunky blanket. This is really big. This is going to be for a beginner. It's going to be a 1-row repeat after we get it set up, so it's super easy. You can just pop on a movie, start crocheting this. You might have to watch this video while you get started, but after you get the hang of it, you're not even gonna need me anymore. I'm gonna walk you through all the supplies you're gonna need. I do suggest that if this is your first time making anything, maybe start with the higher hook, a 15mm, and also maybe start with 3 skeins of yarn, 3 or 4. Maybe don't go straight for 6. So I don't know if you have any children in your life, but maybe make them a blanket first, make your pet one, make a smaller version of one first before going all the way in. So if you do want to go all the way in, I used 6 skeins of yarn for mine. I didn't buy them all at the same time. At first I thought I could get away with 4, and then I needed 6 because I wanted to go from my toes all the way to my mid-face. So I did use 6 skeins. So this one is what I used for mine, and this is in denim blue if you like the shade. I got this from Joann, and right now it's still the week of Christmas, and they're still having a sale, so if you watch this, go to Joann and get your yarn. But this is the yarn I'm using. It is going to be Bernat Blanket Extra, so make sure it says extra. There's another one that they have that's similar, and it's bigger than this, so do not get that one. That's not the one I'm using. That's just the yarn that you're gonna need. I use 6 skeins. You can use as many as you want. If there's anything you invest in when it comes to crochet, a good hook is definitely needed. I personally love using clover hooks. I have, I think, most sizes that they offer. All right, and let me show you the difference between the different blankets. Okay, so this is what I used, a 12mm, so you can see it's kind of hard for me to stick my fingers through the holes, and it's very tightly crocheted together. So everything is really tight. I wanted that. That's what I was going for, and I achieved it, so I'm really happy. Okay, so now let me show you what I did, a 15mm hook. So if you're brand new, maybe stick to doing this one first. And this is 1 skein of yarn. So I'm making my daughter a blanket now. And this is 1 skein of yarn, and I used a 15mm hook. It's holey. You can't really tell that much, but it is very holey. And you can see that the stitches aren't quite as tight. You can see the loops. Some of the loops are just kind of sticking out a little. And that's what's going to happen when you have a 15mm hook. So if you're new, I do suggest you using this. If you just want it to be tighter, maybe size down from a 14 or to a 13. If you are a brand new crocheter, I do suggest you stick to maybe a 14 or 15mm, so it's gonna look a little more like this. And if you know how to crochet, or you already know what you're doing, go for 12. I love my 12 one. It's weighted, but I don't know exactly how much it weighs. If I had to guess, I'd say anywhere from like 4 to 6 pounds. I don't know. I did talk to a few people that struggle when it comes to turning their work and going to the next row. So I do suggest that you get some stitch markers. They are like little plastic safety pins, and you can get them. They're very inexpensive. They have them at the Dollar Tree.
And I just want to give a quick shout out for Pow and Monica. Thank you. Y'all keep me going.
So I decided to make this whole video for my sister. So she has been wanting to crochet a blanket for a long time. She doesn't crochet, but she really, really wants to. For those of you that don't know, I am a triplet. Here's a picture of me and my sisters. And here's a picture of Amy, the sister that is going to attempt to crochet again. Little backstory. I did try to teach my sister about a year ago. She was so excited. She'd always call me on the phone and be like, I can't wait to learn, da 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 da. So one day I brought all my stuff to my parents' house. Usually I have it with me anyways, but I brought extra stuff for her. And so I tried to teach her. I lost her. She did not even put in a good 5 minutes before quitting. So I don't know how well this is gonna go. Fingers crossed she picks this up, but I don't know. We'll see. So cross your fingers. Comment below if you think she can do it. I don't know. Not sure. All right, so most importantly, you need your yarn, you need your hook, and if you have stitch markers, that will be great, especially if you're brand new. If you don't know what a stitch marker is, these are stitch markers. They look like little plastic safety pins, and we use them a lot in amigurumi, little characters. Without further ado, let's get started on the tutorial.
All right, so let's get started. First, I have my 15mm hook and a stitch marker, and mine is a clover. Do not, I repeat, do not buy your hook from Temu or Shein. Just don't do it. Get a quality hook. And a stitch marker is optional, but if you are new and you don't know how to turn, I do suggest use that while you're learning. All right, to get started, we're going to first need to make a slip knot. To do this, you're going to take the end of your yarn. You're going to go around 2 fingers. You're going to twist it and you're going to pull the tail through, making a loop. Let's do it one more time. Go around 2 fingers. Make it overlap. Take your 2 fingers and grab and pull. And we have our slip knot. Now we're going to insert our hook. And before you can really start crocheting, you have to know your hook hand. I'm right-handed, so this is my hook hand. And my other hand is going to be my yarn hand. All right, and you do want to hold this correctly. It makes your life a whole lot easier as a crocheter. But I'm going to put my palm, my yarn hand palm to the ceiling, go between my pinky and my ring finger, and go behind my fingers, and grab on with my middle finger and my thumb to the tail. And I extend my pointer finger. So let's do that again. And you can try wrapping it around a different way, but basically you do want to have a little bit of tension. So this is how I'm holding it. I'm going to show you one more time. Right there, between the pinky and ring finger. Go under your fingers, under your hand. Have your hand be upright again. Your middle finger and your thumb are going to hold the tail. And I'm going to extend my pointer finger. So I have tension in the working yarn. That's our working yarn. So it's going to have a little bit of tension. It's not going to be tight, but it's not loose. So I'm just going to use my pointer finger, and I'm going to wrap it. I'm not going to use my hook to move. I'm just going to use my finger. And I pull through. And my hook is facing down. Pull through. This is called chaining. And for my blanket, I had about 45 chains. You can make your blanket whatever, this is your width of the blanket, so whatever width you want, you're going to chain that amount. So for me, it was 45. All right, so I'm just going to wrap it over the hook, and I'm going to keep chaining. And I'm not going to chain 45 right now. I'm just going to I'm going to do a sample size. So you can feel free to just practice chaining until you get, so your chaining starts to look really uniform. And I do push it all the way to the end of the hook, so that way they're all the same exact size. All right, so this is about how long I'm going to make my chain. So as you can see, you see V's, and there's 3 loops on every chain you did. So I'm going to be going into the top loop this will be row number 1. And we're going to be working, you'll see our first chain. We're going to be working into our second chain. And I'm going to yarn over. So I have a loop on my hook right now. I have the loop and then I yarned over. And we're going to go into We're going to skip that first chain and we're going to go into the second chain. And I'm just going to insert my hook, just picking up that last loop. Now I have 3 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over again. So I did yarn over again, and I'm going to pull through all 3 loops. Yarn over. I'm going to go into the next one. And again, it's just the top loop. I have 3. I'm going to yarn over and pull through all 3. And just a tip, you want to keep your hook facing down for this. And we're going to do that all the way down the line. This is called a half double crochet. So yarn over. I like to separate the loop with my finger before going in. Yarn over again, pull that through all 3 loops. So this is what you're going to be looking like. All right, and we have 1 last chain left. So we're just going to go ahead and do the same thing to that 1 chain. Pull through. Now we're going to chain 1. You should look something like that. Chain 1. And then you're going to turn it just like you're turning a page of a book. And now we're going to be going to our 1 row repeat. So this is just going to be the exact same for every single row we do after this until you're finished. All right, so there are 3 strands again. They're sitting a little differently. So you can see the V. And we're going to be going into our back loops. So I'm going to show you where those are. The back loops are the one that's way back there. So we're going to be working into just that loop. So same exact thing, half double crochet into those loops. And we're going to start with that very first one. There we go. And if you have a stitch marker, I have my stitch marker. So I'm going to mark that. It doesn't matter where you mark it, but you want to let yourself know that is where the row is ending. So I yarned over and we are going into the next back loop of the next stitch. Yarn over, pull through. So same exact half double crochet. Except now it is just in the back loops. And we're going to be doing that all the way down. And again, this is a 1-row repeat. I love 1-row repeats because there's no thinking involved. You just do the same movement. You don't have to worry about relearning something. If you give it a break for a couple of weeks, you just pick it right back up. All right, and we're working our way to the end. So I have my little rhythm going. And I have one more after this. This is my last stitch of the row. So again, I'm going to chain 1, flip my work, and now I'm going to grab another stitch marker, and I am going to yarn over, and you can see that it's right here. All right, and now I'm going to mark it. And you can mark it anywhere on the row. It doesn't matter as long as you indicate that that is the last stitch of that row. Again, you don't have to do that. I don't do that typically, but I want it to be easy to understand because I've heard a lot of people tell me that they want to crochet something like a blanket, but they don't know how to turn. So for this pattern, all you do is you work up until your last stitch, chain 1, and then turn your work. And then begin again at the first stitch. Okay, and I'm going to stop here, but go ahead and just finish this until your desired length. And I'm going to show you how you can add more yarn and then weave in your ends at the very end. All right, when you are ready to add your next skein of yarn to this, you are just going to take the end of your new skein and the old tail of your old skein, and you're going to do a double knot, but be careful, do not pull too tight. This yarn will snap on you. So pull really hard, but not too hard. And then you can just snip off. And you can just continue crocheting, and you don't have anything to worry about. You won't even know that's there. Going to just cut the yarn, and you want to leave enough to weave in. And now let me show you. Normally I like the metal ones, but I do like to use plastic when I have the big, huge yarn because it's easier to thread. The hole is bigger. So I'm gonna go through here. I'm just gonna pull. All right, now I'm going to take this, and you can go, it doesn't matter the direction you go. You can go
you can go any way you want. So I'm going to take it this way. And then you can just weave it in and out.
I like to go back and forth about 3 times, just so you know it has a little extra security. And you can't even tell that it's there, so don't worry about the way it's going to look. You won't even notice it. But at the end of the day, you do want it to be very secure because you don't want it to fall apart on you. And once you've done that, you can just cut off the rest of the tail and you're done. I hope you found this tutorial really helpful. And don't forget to like this video if you did. And please comment below about if you had success. And good luck on your crochet journey. For more easy patterns, head over to my Etsy shop.